Footage just leaked online, allegedly showing Offset getting jumped by Lil Baby's 4PF crew. But this clip might be exposing way more than a simple fight, because behind this viral video is a hidden beef, a quiet war that started years ago inside QC Studios, after a dice game with 42 Doug went horribly wrong. And ever since then, the streets swear Offset was stripped, robbed, and left for dead, while Lil Baby publicly yelled fake news to cover it up. Tonight, we break down the truth behind the footage, the fallout between Offset and Lil Baby, and the one moment that might have lit the fuse on Atlanta's most mysterious rap beef. Yo. So there's this video that keeps popping up on everybody's timeline, right? And every single time it drops, the entire internet loses their mind all over again. We talking about that grainy parking lot footage where somebody's getting chased down, jumped, and literally stripped to their boxers outside an Atlanta club. Now here's where it gets wild. Half the internet swears that's Offset from the Migos getting violated by Lil Baby's 4PF crew. The other half saying it's cap. But regardless of what's true, this story has become one of the most legendary rumors in Atlanta rap history, and it refuses to die. But here's the tea nobody's really connecting. This ain't just about some random video. This whole situation got roots that go way deeper than y'all think. We talking dice games gone wrong, label politics, street beef, and millions of dollars in contract disputes all colliding at the same damn time. And whether that's really Offset in that footage or not, the damage to his reputation been done? Fam, the streets already made up their mind. Let me break down this whole saga for y'all, because what really went down is crazier than the rumor itself. All right. So to understand how we got here, we got to go back to when quality control music was running Atlanta. I'm talking peak QC era. Migos was everywhere. Lil Baby was the hottest new thing in rap, and Coach K and P were basically the godfathers of the city. On the surface, everything looked like family. Offset and Lil Baby were both under the same label, both representing Atlanta to the fullest, both getting crazy money. The label was throwing parties, celebrating wins, and acting like everything was all love. But behind closed doors, man, the politics was getting messy as hell. See, Offset was in the trenches fighting with quality control over his contract. He wanted out. He was trying to buy himself out the label so he could go independent and own his masters.
The issues with Offset and QC started a long time ago. So Offset had a problem with QC. From what I was hearing, he felt like they picked sides a little bit, or they were protective of Lil Baby. Offset, obviously in the Migos, you know, they were cash cows of QC for a long time, but then comes Lil Baby, 4PF. Offset had an issue with Baby.
Now, if you know anything about the music business, you know that's when things get real tense. No cap labels don't just let their biggest artists walk away easy, especially when they still printing money off their name. So you got lawyers involved, negotiations breaking down, and Offset basically at war with the same people who helped make him a star.
I do that music shit for my fans and my people, man. Feed my kids, man. And you know, sometimes people don't want you to sprout and grow, you know what I mean? And be a boss and own yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Now, while all that's happening, there's another situation brewing that most people didn't even know about yet. One that would eventually blow this whole thing wide open. Here's where things get real. And this is straight from the mouth of Wack 100 himself. Now, Wack stay in the mix with everybody's business, but he was actually there for this one, so we gotta pay attention to what he's saying.
I had to leave the dice game. Offset wasn't going for it. He went outside. We two Doug out a bunch of money in both his pockets. You know, he got skinny jeans on, so both out his pockets. Offset didn't take too kind him walking away from the dice game when it was Offset dice. He was getting 20,000.
According to Wack, there was a private dice game that went down inside QC Studios. Not at no club, not at no party. Right there in the studio where everybody's supposed to be working and keeping it professional. But you know how it goes when money and ego get involved? Type shit gets dangerous real quick. Wack said he watched the whole thing pop off with his own eyes. Offset and 42 Doug were in there gambling heavy. We talking thousands of dollars per roll, fam. The type of money where every dice throw could change somebody's whole week. The energy was already intense, but it was still cool at first, just rappers gambling, talking trash, regular studio vibes.
But when we got there, Offset was like 25,000 in the Doug pockets. By the time I come back 30, 45 minutes later, Doug is 25,000 in Offset's pockets. Now it's Offset's dice, right? And he said the 1,000 a shot, 5,000. Doug said run it, Offset hit 7. Nigga, let's go another 5. He's here to get 11. He 10 back. He only got about 10, 15 of his money on the ground.
But then 42 Doug started catching losses, bad ones. And when he tried to walk away from the game, Offset wasn't having it. He wanted Doug to stay and lose more, or run it back or whatever. That's when everything flipped. The whole vibe in the room changed instantly. Words got exchanged, voices got raised. According to Wack's version, Offset even got physical with Doug.
Doug picks his money up and walks away. So Offset was caught in disbelief that he was caught still down with the dice. He's looking around and like, did this motherfucker just grab the money off the floor? Offset jumps up and trails behind him. Offset walks right up and Doug's walking away from him, grabs his left pocket. His money bulging out of it. He didn't take the money out of his pocket, right? I don't know if he was attempting to take it or he was just trying to turn him around or what it was. Nevertheless, Doug ends up turning around. When he turned around, Offset fired.
In the face.
Right in the face.
We talking one-on-one, squaring up type situation before other people in the studio had to jump in and separate them. And Wack went on record later saying if he didn't step in that night, that Nukia would have been in the morgue. That's not no light statement, bro. That's talking about somebody potentially dying over a dice game. Now here's the part that connects everything. 42 Doug ain't just some random rapper Offset had beef with. Doug is tight with Lil Baby, like really tight. He's part of that whole 4PF family, and in the streets, when you got a problem with one member of the crew, you potentially got issues with the whole squad. That's just how loyalty works in this game, for real. So even though that dice game situation got broken up that night and everybody went their separate ways, the tension was real and it was lingering. People in the studio that night knew something had shifted. The respect was gone. And according to the streets, that dice game became the quiet spark that would eventually lead to the viral footage everybody's still talking about today. But that's just the beginning though. What happened next is what really sent the internet into complete chaos. A few months after that dice game situation, the entire hip-hop world woke up to the most insane headlines you could imagine. Every blog page, I'm talking Academics, The Shade Room, Say Cheese, all of them, started posting the same story. Offset got jumped by 4PF outside an Atlanta club and got stripped to his boxers. Bro, when I tell you the internet exploded, I mean it literally broke. Instagram was going crazy. Twitter was in shambles. Facebook rap pages were posting it every 5 minutes. And at the center of all this chaos was this one piece of footage, that grainy, shaky, barely visible parking lot video that we've all seen 1,000 times by now. You know the one I'm talking about. Shot from mad far away on somebody's phone camera. Quality looking like it's from 2005. You can see a group of dudes chasing somebody through a parking lot. You can see clothes getting ripped off. You can see somebody getting violated and robbed. But here's what you can't see clearly, the actual face of the person getting jumped. That's the part that kills me, fam. If you actually watch that footage with your own eyes and you being honest, you cannot definitively say that's Offset. The video quality is terrible. The distance is too far. There's no clear shot of anyone's face. Even Reddit threads at the time were saying nobody actually knows who this is. But by the time that little detail made its way around the internet, it was already too late. The narrative was set. The caption said it was Offset, so it was Offset. The blogs said it was 4PF, so it was 4PF. And just like that, a blurry video of an unknown person became the proof that one of the biggest rappers in Atlanta got violated by his former label mate's crew. That's how fast misinformation spreads, bro. That's how rumors become facts in the social media age. Now this is where the internet turned into full detective mode and started connecting dots that may or may not even be connected, you feel me? Right around the same time that footage dropped, people noticed something on social media. Offset unfollowed Lil Baby on Instagram, and not just Baby, he unfollowed QC's boss P too. Now in hip-hop, when two major artists unfollow each other, that's basically a public declaration that something's wrong. That's the modern version of a diss track. So when fans saw those unfollows happen at the same time this footage was circulating, they put 2 and 2 together. The math was simple in their minds. Viral footage plus Instagram unfollow equals confirmed beef. Within hours, the story went from alleged incident to verified fact in the court of public opinion. It didn't matter that nobody could actually prove who was in the video. It didn't matter that nobody from either camp was publicly confirming anything. The story felt true, And on the internet, that's all that really matters. No cap. Then people started digging deeper. They brought back up the old dice game story with 42 Doug. They started analyzing Offset's contract battles with QC and how that might have created tension with other artists on the label. They looked at every Instagram story, every tweet, every interview for hidden clues. The whole situation turned into this massive conspiracy theory that just kept growing bigger and bigger with each day. And the more people talked about it, the more real it became in everyone's mind, even though there was still no actual proof of what really happened. Now Lil Baby, to his credit, didn't just sit back and let this story run wild. He jumped on Instagram real quick, trying to kill the whole narrative before it spread even further. Baby called it straight up fake news. He was literally begging blog pages to stop posting the story. He denied every single part of it and said the whole thing was completely made up. And if you watch his response, you can tell he was genuinely frustrated that people were believing this without any real evidence. But here's the thing about the internet, gang. Once a story takes off and gets enough momentum, denial don't mean nothing. People gonna believe what they want to believe, especially when the story is entertaining and fits into a larger narrative they already suspicious about. And in this case, everything just lined up too perfectly in people's minds. You got Offset fighting with QC, you got the reported dice game beef with 42 Doug, you got the mysterious parking lot footage, you got the Instagram unfollows. All these pieces seem to connect in a way that made the rumor feel more believable than the denial. Plus, let's keep it 100. When you in a situation where your denial makes headlines too, sometimes that actually makes more people believe the original story. They start thinking, why would he address it so hard if nothing happened? The internet be backwards like that sometimes, for real. So after all that chaos died down, you know what happened next? Absolutely nothing, fam. Just straight silence for years. Think about it. Offset and Lil Baby used to be label brothers, two of the biggest names coming out of Atlanta at the exact same time. In a normal situation, you'd expect them to link up for songs together, show up at each other's events, do interviews together, show some kind of public unity, but none of that ever happened after this situation. No collaborations dropped, no pictures together, no public appearances side by side, nothing. Offset kept focusing on his solo career and his legal battles with QC.
I'ma do what I gotta do. Make sure these kids ball when I'm gone, you know what I'm saying? I work hard, so they deserve the ball. Then it's like, all this like, it ain't my flavor, it ain't my taste. Like I ain't with the going back and forth and like subbing. I'm a grown man with kids, I'm a boss. I don't believe in that, the social media and like doing comments and going back and forth, man. I'm grown, man. I'm a boss. I ain't on that, I ain't never been on that my whole career. You ain't never seen me going up, just trying to be on some messy girl shit. That be for the girls. Like, I'm a player, I ain't going that way.
Lil Baby kept building 4PF into one of the most respected labels in hip-hop, signing new artists and dropping hit after hit. But that distance between them, man, that spoke louder than any statement ever could. Real ones could see it clear as day. These two weren't cool no more, and whatever happened between them wasn't getting fixed anytime soon. And the whole time, that footage just sat there on the internet, getting reposted every few months, keeping the story alive even when neither artist was addressing it. The rumor became part of Atlanta hip-hop folklore, waiting for the right moment to explode back into the spotlight. And that moment finally came when Lil Baby started dropping new music with some very interesting bars that made everybody's ears perk up. In his newer tracks, Baby started rapping about a rapper who got stripped, robbed, and damn near lost his life after getting into it with one of his people. Now, he never said Offset's name directly. That's not how subliminals work in hip-hop, you feel me? But the details he was describing, the specific way he told the story, everybody immediately connected it back to that dice game with 42 Doug and that infamous parking lot footage.
All I'm saying is when it
Absolutely insane all over again. Facebook pages started breaking down the lyrics line by line, pointing out all the connections. Twitter was connecting dots like they worked for the FBI. Instagram comments were going crazy with people saying, he's definitely talking about Offset. The entire story got resurrected and given new life because of a few bars in a song. And here's what makes this whole thing even crazier. This is the same Lil Baby who called the footage fake news years ago. The same dude who was begging people to stop spreading the rumor, but now he's seemingly rapping about it in his music. That contradiction right there is what really got people questioning everything all over again. Fans started asking the real questions. If it never happened, why you rapping about it now? If it was fake news back then, why bring it up in bars today? Was the denial just for public image while the streets knew the real truth the whole time? Those subliminals brought the whole situation back from the dead stronger than ever before. No cap. So here's where we at today, and this is the real talk y'all need to hear. Offset and Lil Baby still haven't publicly made peace. They still don't collaborate. They still don't stand next to each other at events. They still don't even acknowledge each other in interviews when asked about Atlanta rap. The distance is real, and it's obvious to anybody paying attention. And every single time that old footage resurfaces, which happens like clockwork every few months when somebody discovers it and posts it again, or every time Baby drops a bar that sounds just a little too specific, the entire storyline comes rushing back. The comments fill up, the blogs repost it, the debate starts all over again. Now let me keep it a buck with y'all about something that's crucial to understand. Whether Offset actually got jumped by 4PF or whether this whole thing was just a rumor that grew into an urban legend, at this point, the actual truth almost don't even matter no more. That's the real lesson here. In the age of social media, your reputation ain't just built on what you do, it's built on what people believe you did. And once that perception is out there, it's almost impossible to take it back. Keep it 100, gang.